Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. Very special show today. Amigos, familia, friends, and family. We have our year end recap where we have some amazing takes and one not so amazing take all the way at the end. Thank you, Andres, for blowing it. With nothing else to say, but let's start the show. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with my buddy. I miss you so much, Andres.
What's up, man? Here we go.
What's up, buddy?
Tell you what's up, man. We moved like 10 days ago, and we've been living in boxes, and we're still living in boxes, and I'm currently surrounded by boxes, and everything smells like boxes. So this is great that we get to do this. I'm excited.
I know.
We've been looking forward to this for like 3 weeks. We've been kind of getting into it, and finally,
we get to do it.
pushing through. All right, man. So without further ado, our favorite tops of 2022.
Yeah.
Let's start with the films because we're doing our math. There's a lot more film. I mean, a lot more shows than films. Yes. I mean, Jesus, it's going to be crazy.
All right.
This is it.
You want to go from 5 to 1, right? We'll go our lowest ranked. Or how many movies you got? You got 5 or how many?
I got my top 5, I think. But all right, before we start, I want to make it very clear. Like, I didn't get to watch all the films this year. And I'm going to, a couple of the most notable films, I have not watched all of Nope yet, which is, I really, really want to get back into that. It just, I watched it in the middle of the movie and had to stop. The Fabelmans, Spielberg's movie, I really, really want to watch it. Have not watched it. Tar with Cate Blanchett for Amazing Things. Have not gotten to watch it. And last but not least, something that's really high on my list, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I really, really freaking want to watch it. And that might happen in the next couple of days. So if it's not on there, it's because I probably didn't get to watch the film. And same with Francisco. Like, what are some notables that you are looking forward to that you didn't get to watch?
All the ones you mentioned. I did watch Nope and Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, yeah. For good things.
And then The Menu, I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But so as far as prestigious or quality films, I think those are the top ones. Yeah, The Fabelmans, that's really up there too. So
yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we didn't get to watch this. So these are just our favorite that we've watched so far.
Yes. All right. All right, getting into it.
All right, let's do this.
I kind of want to give a couple. Well, no, we'll do shout outs. We'll do shout outs after. Yeah, shout outs after. All right. So, number 5 for you. What was your number 5 pick?
Number 5 for me was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
I watched that yesterday. I finished it.
Oh, sweet. Did you get to do it all in one sitting?
No, I did not. I had to do it in 2. And at first I was like, man, it's okay. And then when I finished it, I actually rewound most of it so I could watch, so I can get back into the mode, whatever. Mm-hmm. And man, I gotta say that this movie has a lot of heart.
Yeah.
This movie has a lot of heart.
Movie shockingly, like, dude, you might even shed some tears watching this movie. Like, there's
it definitely, I didn't think, it got me at the end. I was like, oh, hijo tu madre.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, shout out to Michelle Yeoh, man. She carried this movie and from beginning to end, and she was not only like the action star, but actually the emotional driver too, like being what she needed to be for the film. So shout out to her, man. And the entire cast was great, and the writing and the directing all was great too. Who knew? Like, that's have a crazy idea out there, make it, see what happens.
Yeah.
And
it was a smaller budget, very smaller budget of films compared to like so many others, which was like, holy crap. But man, it was, I'll get into that one in a little bit too. Great pick for number 5.
Okay. You're number 5?
Yeah. It was
How do you want to do this? Do you want to go, if we have overlap, do you want to wait till So I have everywhere all at once at number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Next time we have an overlap, do you want to wait till we get to whoever has their highest ranked? You know what I'm saying? Like I have it at this number.
Let's just go. Let's just
right.
keep it going. I see what you're saying. For structure wise, it would be cool.
Yeah.
But let's just make it a little wild and everyone just
the
listeners can discover as we're discovering our top films. This is how we do it in real life when we're talking to each other. So we'll just keep doing it right now.
Okay.
We usually have more shit talking though in real life. All right, off air. All right, my number 5 was The Batman. Matt Reeves. Dude, keeping track of this, because Batman's one of my favorite fictional characters. And when Matt Reeves was announced, I was like, shit, this is going to be dope. And then they got an amazing cinematographer, and they got an amazing supporting cast. And I was a little like, I have no idea what it's going to be about. And big shoes to fill, because they had to basically up Christopher Nolan's Batman films, but and try to make us forget about the Zack Snyder Batman stuff at the same time. And separate it visually and story wise, and I think for the most part, they created a film that's like good to go for another like 4 or 5. I would say easy. And super excited for what's to come. It's not a perfect film. I was hoping for it to be a little bit more and also a little bit shorter of a film, but overall, it was pretty killer. Like the Batmobile scene in the rain was like, what? I watched that like 4 or 5 times. Just cranking the sound. Oh my god! And visually, they set the tone apart from like this video gamey kind of city to like this darker, gloomy, like David Fincher 7 style. I mean, it's all there. It was pretty killer. I hope the next film, they just keep it going and do so much more. And shout out to Colin Farrell for being in this film. And like, what? Like when they announced him as Penguin, I was like, no way. And then he killed it. So yeah, my number 5 is The Batman.
I also enjoyed this movie. I have more to say upcoming.
Okay. So what's your number 4?
Number 4, this grew on me the more I thought about it, and I really love this genre, so I wanted to make sure I get one film up there because I think that this genre is growing in popularity, and it's like all year round. So I got The Barbarian.
Oh, okay.
Number 4.
Yeah.
It's a scary movie, a horror film, and I really enjoyed it, man. It was like 2 films, and the first like 30,
you could
40
argue
minutes,
that it's 3 films.
Yeah, it's like a psychological thriller in the beginning, and it's a lot of mental, jousting and stuff, and then at the end, by the end, it's just a straight up monster film.
It's straight up physical jousting.
Yeah, and so I didn't know which way this was gonna go because the way they marketed this film was kind of odd because there was 2 separate trailers, and there was 2 separate trailers, and you didn't know which way the film was gonna go. That's why, again, 2 films in one.
You sent me the second trailer, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
And I was like, "Okay." And then when I was watching the film, I'm like, "This is not the film he sent me." Like, it was trippy, and then eventually it kind of folds into the film, and I was like, "What is happening?" But I appreciated what they were trying to do. I didn't love the film, but I totally appreciated what they tried to do, and like I can see like they almost nailed it for me.
Yeah,
but it was pretty. I would recommend it for folks that are curious about it. Check it out. A lot of people loved it. Like you loved it, and that's great.
Yeah. So that's my number 4, Barbarian.
Cool.
What's your number 4?
Sticking to that, this was tough, and the top 5 is tough. My number 4 was Prey. I was so happy with this film. Like it had also a lot writing on it. It's Predator's not been like the coolest dude for a while in films. Like he's been like
it's been a struggle to have
been a while.
The right representation up there.
But this film came out, and in number 1, the first thing I want to say, the film is gorgeous. Like it is a gorgeous looking film. Like this is Oh man, it was so good looking. Like the settings and like everything. Like it was so cool. And the story of the tribe and the young warrior who she's not even she wants to be a warrior, but the tribe won't let her, having to like grow and do her own thing amongst like the man's world and the hunters. And she wanted to be a hunter, and then the hunters were getting hunted, and it just kind of broke it all down in such a crazy, cool, and satisfying way. I'm like, Jesus, this film is awesome. I think I've watched it like 3 times now because it was on Hulu. The reason I even got Hulu was literally to watch this movie and watch the shit out of it. So Prey, the Predator film, prequel-ish, whatever you want to call it. I hope they make more. That was my number 4, and that was tough. It almost went to number 3, but it got dethroned recently. So Prey, number 4. What you got for? You're on number 3 now, right?
Yeah, number 3, The Batman.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it could be shorter. I mean, that's like my one nitpick, really. Like,
yeah.
With that, and I feel like there was like, how many endings are we gonna get?
The ending got tacked on. It needed to like be like streamlined.
Yeah,
they tried to be clever, and it just kind of went too long.
Yeah, like going into it, like the stock on Batman was just like creeping on, like yeah,
Yes.
and then boom, it flew up, man. And I like the take. I like Pattinson. He did a great job, man. I was so nervous about that because you need to have a certain kind of like gravitas to Batman. It's fucking Batman. It's like that's every little Tucker's little guy's main guy in the beginning is Batman. Like, so it's like, dude, he has a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
So he pulled it off, and also, like, I love the tone and the structure of the movie was fantastic, and the score, the Batmobile, the set scenes, like the club, all that. It was great. I enjoyed it so much, and I was happy that I got to watch that in the theater because I think it gave me like a different experience.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I have it so high.
Did you pucker up in the theaters watching the Batmobile scene? Were you just like squeezing? You're gonna break your armchair.
You know me, like how I get when I watch something like that and I start laughing out loud,
and you also make this noise.
Oh, yeah. So, oh shit, yeah, that was me in the theater. Good thing that it was super loud so nobody could hear it. I mean, that's what I tell myself. Nobody can hear it, but yeah. So the Batman, man, it's a great start to hopefully a continuing storyline. With this team.
I'm a little concerned because the whole restructuring of Warner Brothers and the DCU, which I think they said that this is safe, that they're going to keep it outside, which is like the smartest thing they can do. Like, let them finish this film. Like, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
And I think he respects that. James Gunn, I'm talking about. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm with you, man. That film was way up there. I think we both had high hopes, and it delivered.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're number 3. What's going on?
My number 3, we watched it a couple days ago, and I didn't know what to think, and it is on Netflix. I highly recommend it for folks. Bullet Train. I can't believe how much I loved this film. Like, Brad Pitt owned this film. I'm not sure Brad Pitt's been funnier in a film. Like, this is a super action film, and he's hilarious. And the structure of the film was crazy, and the stylistic tone of the film was crazy, but it all works. It's like, highly recommend it if you want. I would have loved to watch this film with you in the theaters because every like 90 seconds you're gonna be laughing your ass off. Like,
damn,
this movie's nuts, and it totally delivered. Like, especially once it started going and going and going, you're just like, what the fuck? It's nuts, and like, total unique structure. It's fun and it's just hilarious. It's a cartoon. It's literally a cartoon, and it paid off 100%. And I did not expect that to happen, and this is a film that we're going to probably watch several times, and I'm stoked that it's on Netflix. Bullet Train, Brad Pitt, number 3. Back to you. What's your number 2?
Number 2, Prey.
All right.
Yeah, man, I love this movie, dude. It's like I can just watch Predator and Prey back and forth, and just like keep going back and forth, like making that like a constant double feature. Like, if I watch one, I gotta watch the other. I think they did a great job with the less is more. Sometimes when you get too much in a film, it's like too convoluted and like
and
too many.
you get to know the characters when they
Yeah,
don't like shove it full of like too many subplots and they're just out in the
yeah,
woods trying to not get killed.
yeah. They gotta survive. That's it, you know. And it has some great action sequences, which you want, you know, and it had like cool cinematography. I think the original Predator doesn't get enough credit for being like a well shot film because
Oh, dude,
man,
it's a very well shot film. I mean, in the
like dude,
jungle,
like
that's just
some
hard.
yeah. So the cinematography is it's crazy. There's like when they first raid the village or the little revolt,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
rebellion,
The little
and
rebel
they're
camp.
crawling down, and then they have the camera
Yeah,
from
and it
above and
reveals up the
everything.
whole village down there, and you hear like the ka-gung. You
Yeah,
look up,
that's
and
a
there's a
crazy shot.
truck that's like fucking running in
Yeah.
power. Yeah,
Anyways, and so this film kind of like it has that. It has that, the great shots. It has the story that needs to be in place for this kind of movie to work. And you know, you got to remember that one side of this story, you get no dialogue. You know what I'm saying? It's only it's a one-sided dialogue story. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Everything else is just like action and consequence and all
yeah,
this other stuff. So
yeah,
I did it. It was great, man. I was with you. I was like anticipating. I mean, you know how I feel about Predator.
yeah.
I mean, I was anticipating this for a long time, and it paid off, and that's why I got it at number 2, baby.
Dude,
They did it.
they gave it such respect in like the simple shots of like a close up of his hand like opening and then like a little weapon thing shows up, like
Yeah,
little details like that. Because
yeah,
like you're like, oh shit, something about to happen. Oh,
yeah,
that's what happened. What's that? What's that? Oh no,
yeah,
shit!
yeah,
Like that
man.
dude's head is gone.
Womp womp.
Like there's a couple shots in there that you're just like, oh shit! Like the log when he blasts him with the net and it squeezes the log and it goes through the log, and you know there was a person on the other side of that that's no longer there. Like fuck,
Yeah, that's
and
great.
unexpectedly so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Praise number 2. All
What do you
right,
got number 2 for you?
my number 2. This was really tough between these two films, and I
Oh.
ended up going with an absolute experience of like a film, an absolute experience, and that film is Top Gun Maverick. That film
Mm.
messed me up. I was like, that film had no business being that good. How they shot it, how I love the fact that they held off for like 2+ years to release it in theaters because they knew it was a theatrical experience. And it paid
Mhm.
off because the movie made like 1.5 billion at the box office, like insane amounts of money, and completely well deserved. They fucking earned every penny. They took an audience like on just a literal ride in ways that we've never seen before. Just putting cameras in planes and telling that simple story. It's a simple story. There's not a lot to it, but it's so damn enjoyable about the relationships and like these folks getting older and getting replaced and what family kind of means in a different way and responsibility. But man, and then at the very end, like we talked about, like just when you think the movie's over, they get into an F-16 jet, they hijack a fucking jet that's just sitting there waiting for them, and they take off, and then we keep going. I'm like, dude, this shit is bananas. I I can't wait to get it on Blu-ray and crank up the subwoofer at home and watch it a couple more times because fuck, that movie was an experience,
Yeah.
and that was my number 2.
My number 1, my numero uno. Is it ready to rock? It's Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah,
I watched
it's undeniable.
yeah, it's what everything you just said, and I got to watch it at the theater, and I got to watch it like in 4D,
Which is crazy.
which is like, oh shit, we're moving like on the seats, we're like all over the place, air in my face, and I'm like, dude, I was laughing, having such an amazing experience doing it, and I was like, man, it's just, I was like, man, is this the greatest propaganda movie of all time? I'm like, let's do it, let's fucking sign up right now. I'm 50, but I don't care. And
put me in a jet, coach. Put me
in
in
a jet, ready to rock. Yeah, man. I'm like, man, what would my call sign be? You know, and all these crazy things that come with it and stuff. Man, it was just fucking fun, dude. Just a fun film, dude. And like, shout out to Mr. Tom Cruise for
huge
seeing the vision. And even though he's a little nutty, like, you know, like getting
his
there,
passion.
man.
Yeah, his passion paid off.
Man.
Like he held the line, and that shit paid off in spades. I bet you like Paramount was probably shitting themselves because they paid like $150 million for this movie that he shelved for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like imagine that. Like how.
Yeah.
But the confidence must have been there somewhere. They released it. They must have been like just like, oh thank God. Oh thank God.
How many careers were saved by this movie?
Yeah, dude,
they could have ended so many careers. But yeah, man, I can't say enough about this movie. Like all the old school songs that they played from, like, you know, it gave you everything that you wanted from the first one, and they put it into this one.
Yeah.
But modern, you know what I'm saying? It was like it had a lot of stuff for the first one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
it was basically it was just very similar to the first one. And it also gave us our favorite fan theory.
Yeah.
Or the film. We got to go back and listen to that one, folks. Oh man, it's probably like 10, 15 episodes ago. And that was fucking so much fun talking about that too.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's just a crazy film. Everybody knocked it out of the park, you know, from Jon Hamm to my girl.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Everybody knocked it out of the park.
Even Miles Teller was really good. And like the supporting cast was really good. Yeah. I mean, everything was like, damn, this is just a good film. And
what was the guy's name? His sidekick? Oh man. Well, anyways, season 3 of Southside started, by the way.
Yeah, Hondo.
Yeah. Hondo was pretty badass too.
Always there. The guy is there.
Yeah, so man, I love this movie. I just watched it last week again. It's like my 4th or 5th time watching it, and it doesn't get old. I'm like, and it was so funny because I was at my sister's house, and my little nephew was like, they were getting ready to leave, and he's like, they're like, come on, you can watch it on the phone, and my little nephew was like, yeah, like that's the best thing to do. Watch the greatest action movie of all time on a little screen.
Dude, we should have your nephew on the pod.
I was like, bro, don't get in trouble, man. He was all bummed out.
I love it.
Oh, dude, and I got him like a little F-14, and he was taking it with him and stuff because he's dressed up as Maverick for Halloween.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Dude, that guy's in it. He's in it right now.
All right,
he's
I guess
10.
This is a recruitment film.
Yeah. He was Maverick. Yeah, so that's my numero uno, bro, man. Shout out Top Gun Maverick. So what was your number 1, bro?
All right, man. This was tough. It was like two films that were battling it out neck and neck. And I went back and forth on these, but ultimately, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once won for me. It just because it came out of like nowhere seemingly. It had like 1/10 or 1/20th the budget of Top Gun. And I think the thing also that did it for me, it made me feel. I was like, what the shit? Like they pulled the rug out from underneath me in ways where I got teary. I was like, damn it, this fucking film. And not just that, but like the humor and like the dark humor and the creativity. Like this film had everything in action and heart. I was like, dude, it was ridiculous. This film was like, I can't wait to watch it again. I actually bought the Blu-ray. Christine doesn't know we're about to watch it again either today or tomorrow for like New Year's because I want to do like a recap of the best of the year. And we might even watch a show or two. We'll talk about those later. But man, that film and with that cast, it just was like shockingly awesome. And my favorite thing about it is like the first 20 minutes of the film or so, maybe 15 minutes, you're kind of like, what is this? Is something going to happen? Like it just goes like, it goes on to like within one moment. I'm not even going to say when. It just turns into a rocket ship. And you're just like bracing yourself and holding on for the next like hour and a half. And you're playing catch up sometimes. And the payoff is so good. I loved it. I loved it. This was like what filmmaking could definitely be. People who give a shit and are passionate about it. It just take very little because a lot of this film takes place like in one building. And they just did so much with it. And it's so freaking entertaining in the editing and the cinematography and everything across the board. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once was just everything I wanted it to be. I don't know what else to say other than that. My number 1 pick of the year. And it made the list for you. I'm glad you got to check it out.
Yeah, I made my list. I think if it would have sat with me longer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Since I only watched it like 2 days ago or whatever,
mm-hmm.
I, I think it would have been different because like you, it made me feel. It got me, did at the end, because I've heard that it's like either you hate it or you love it, or like it makes you cry or you don't. And I'm like, oh, I'm surprised because I'm a big crybaby.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's not gonna do it. I guess it didn't have the oomph that it needed, but it got me at the end. And but dude, I would have loved to be or to watch that meeting where the director or the screenwriter is like, oh yeah, and this happens. And you're like, what? Like you try to imagine that stuff in your head, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Some of the fight sequences and stuff.
They had to have like
I don't want to give anything away.
But yeah,
because
it's out there.
Dude, it's out there. And like, how do you put those into words? You know, I'm like, and be like with a straight face. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh shit. And it's pretty. It is groundbreaking. You know, it is groundbreaking because
the concepts are crazy, and the execution of those concepts was fantastic. I'm like, holy shit! Like that is it's so simple but clever, and how they kind of like show like the idea of a multiverse through like this interconnected web of. It's so complicated and it's so cool. They break it all down and they kind of make it very digestible for the people and the audience. I mean. Oh, I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. And I think maybe with me, I watched it with Christina. And did you get to watch it with someone, or were you just watching it on your own?
I watched it on my own.
I wonder if like watching it with someone and we kind of discussed it like kind of in depth afterwards. And I think that really helped. It sat with us a lot. And like, wow. Yeah.
Well, I think it's also like a coming of age movie and a coming to terms. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
there's so many things.
Yeah, it's like this. I'm like, oh, this is a fucked up version of Turning Red. You know what I'm saying? Like the Disney movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's got so much,
and it goes into like masculinity, you know, and like the dad's character, and when he kind of like talks about his like superpower in the end, you're like, fuck, and you're talking about like strength and like you know the mental strength and the physical strength, and it all kind of comes into play, and you're like. Damn, like it's just so much. So I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, and it also shows like some things that maybe like in some generations or you know are going through because some things that used to be taboo for some people, some families or different people around the world and stuff that they don't deal with certain things. You know, inclusivity and you know. Part of having different types of relationships with people. I think this is kind of new for other people. Like, hey, Dad, watch this, and maybe it'll click, and maybe it won't click. You know, but you know, who knows?
There's so much going on in that film.
Just the swing alone is impressive. You know?
Yeah, I loved it. So
that's it was great. That's an amazing pick. Yeah.
So which shout outs? I have like one or two shout outs for films that didn't make
shout outs. I got Glass Onion.
Yeah, me too.
And then I got the Irish movie.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
That Banshees of Inisherin.
Inisherin.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than In Bruges. Remember we talked about it?
Yeah. Well, let's review those. We're gonna review Glass Onion and the Banshees of Inisherin on the next episode because those they deserve some chat and let's get into those for sure. And they're like some of the top reviewed films of the year. So we definitely got to get into those. I'm excited. The whole time I was watching it, I was like making mental notes about shit we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And totally agree with those shout outs. The other two shout outs I have are Doctor Strange and the Multiverse after the first 20 minutes. Just fast forward through all that crap if you want to, or just go make a sandwich for the first 20 minutes and come back. I don't know what to tell you. But when that film goes off, it goes off. I love it. And like the creativity there and the Sam Raimi, just being Sam Raimi in the Marvel Universe, love it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end, dude, like they just let him go. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I loved it. And the other shout out I have is just a movie we just watched the other day, which is surprising. It's subdued. It's a small cast, and it's called The Outfit on Amazon. I think it just showed up on Amazon. It came out earlier this year. Small budget.
It was on Peacock for a long time.
Was it? It came out, a small budget film, great cast, not like some massive thing. It's like almost watching a play and watching the actors, and I loved it. I thought it was such a cool, well-written, well-acted film. Like, check out The Outfit if people haven't watched that. We can maybe talk about that one later. But yeah, I was really happy with that one.
Yeah. We watched it last night.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
For your recommendation.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the acting was great. The writing was great.
Yeah.
It it was all in basically one room.
Yeah,
but
I didn't want to spoil it. I remember like 20 minutes in the movie. I'm like, I think this whole movie's gonna take place like in 2 rooms.
Yeah,
and it totally
but the acting was great.
It's great.
I like the acting, and I like the way it was shot. I mean, it looked
it's legit.
Yeah, it looked pretty, and it's weird because it's all in the same area, same place. So it's like I don't know the lighting. I don't know what makes it look the way it does the whole time, but it looked well done.
Oh yeah, the set design was great. I mean, the costume design was fantastic. There's so many things we'll talk about that one later. But yeah, it was great. The outfit on Amazon just showed up. All right, man, are you ready for like the mind bending top shows of the year? This is gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
We're not gonna.
I had to make some hard choices, bro. I'm not really 100% comfortable with them, and it hurts a little bit, but I did it.
Yeah, I hear you. I kind of separated mine into 3 categories of shout outs at the end, my top 10, but the bottom 7 are all kind of like right there with each other. They're all like you can just change them around, and I'd be totally cool with it. And the top 3, those were tough too. The top 3 are my toughest. But all right, man, let's get into the TV top shows. All right,
here we go.
What's your number 10?
My number 10. Are you ready? And this aired before we started the podcast, so
yeah,
this is a new entry.
Yeah,
Peacemaker.
Number 10.
Number
right, cool.
10.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a great ride. And like it was funny. The first episode was like all John Cena and like him being a dick and a douche and like having sex with the girl and this and that. And I'm like, man, am I gonna be able to hang? Because I don't know if I can hang with just John Cena. You know what I'm saying? And they start developing the crew and everything, and every episode kept they kept giving you a little bit more and a little bit more.
Kept opening up more and more. And then like you realize like the threat's getting a little bit bigger, and you're just like, wait a minute, this could be a problem.
Yeah, and then by the end, dude, I was all in, dude, and it was a great surprise.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of great character build and top tier song intro to a show of all time.
This year had 2 of the best top title intros of TV shows. Like, I would say, like 2,
for sure,
amazing. And Peacemaker's intro is one of them. Like, I watched it every time. I was like, "What is this? This is awesome."
Yeah. But so anyway, so that's my numero 10.
Yeah, that's a great pick. My pick was, I guess, a show that I wasn't really like. It wasn't even on my radar. I was like, "This is gonna be some bullshit show," and they paid a lot of money for it.
Mm-hmm.
Rings of Power. I really, really ended up super digging Rings of Power. I was not sure what to think. And every week, like, was it Thursday? Whatever, fucking 10 p.m. or 9. I don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
We had some controversies on some problems.
People don't know how to tell time debacle.
Yeah, apparently there's some different time zones that we need to be aware of. And some evil, mean messages being sent to certain folks because they couldn't tell time.
Yeah.
And some apologies quickly following. Yes, Rings of Power. I was shocked how like well done it was. Like the costumes and the sets and the production design and the acting and like what they were trying to do. Because I didn't understand like the time. I didn't understand like where it was set, and they kind of started to unravel it. And you're starting to see like, okay, I mean it's the Lord of the Rings, but like way, way, way before Lord of the Rings, when all those little elements are there, and it was like the Harfoots and all this shit, and the different elves and doing their thing. Like, what are they doing? Oh, okay. And then they spend some money. Like they spend a lot of money, and some of the designs of like the end where they kind of did the reveal, you're like, holy shit. I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Like it was way better than I thought it was going to be. That's Rings of Power on Amazon. Season 2 is already filming, I think, and looking forward to it. And keep it going, man. I hope they do like an awesome 5 or 6 seasons. What's your number 9?
Oh man, I'm looking at my list right now. And I'm like, ooh, it's so tough. Anyways, so my number 9 for the year is The Boys.
Okay.
The Boys. Okay.
Yep.
The Boys, season 4, Amazon Prime. Oh man, season was amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It started off with a bang, as you would say, perhaps. You know, and And it just kept going, dude. These guys pushed the limits and stuff. The ending was a little bit anticlimactic, but not super anticlimactic. But they were riding so high the entire season.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see, man. Everything they're doing right now is just clicking. And it's like in a groove. It's just in a groove, dude. And you're going to watch this episode and you'll be like, fuck, that was badass.
And I think with The Boys is they almost lost me at the middle of season 2. And then the second half of season 2 got like way better. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then they did enough to bring me back for season 3. And season 3 was so good. I was like, I can't wait for the next couple seasons. Like they clearly have like, they know what they're doing now. Like they're in their pocket and they're just going for it. And it's perfectly what it needs to be for that kind of show.
Zero fucks. They just choose to call it zero fucks.
And this one totally gets into like white power and like privilege, all sorts of like crazy, like more modernish stuff. Like they
just look over like, damn, they did that.
They did some stuff. I'm like, hats off to them. And then apparently people got pissed off. They weren't happy that they're getting called out because people realized, I think people are starting to wake up like, wait a minute, are we racist? Yeah, some of y'all might be racist out there.
Yeah, somebody might be. Shout out to you fucking racist people.
You make the shows punching bags fun. I'm curious on our list if we ever hit one where we're even, like we get the same show.
I don't know, bro. Like I think my list is like I don't even like looking at it sometimes. Because I definitely know which shows you like more.
Yeah, I'm not sure
than I do, but but I, you know what I'm saying? Because I think there's one show I have on here that you're gonna have way high.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see. Right. So, what's your number 9?
Number 9 is Hacks season 2. I super dug it. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but man, the relationship building and what they did with like the mother-daughter, the surrogate mother and daughter, you can call it, between those two, like, and watching Ava kind of grow into her own was like, it was so satisfying to like watch like the relationship bloom and like how I can't believe I forgot her name. Jean Smart's character, how she kind of white fanged her in the end.
Deborah.
Deborah was like, "Get out of here, go." Because she knows.
That moment got me too, dude. I was like, "Oh, let your little one butterfly spread her wings."
It was so good. Like it was like a perfect fucking. Oh, I loved it. Loved Hex season 9. I don't know what else to say. Hilarious and heart, and it just works.
Yeah, me too, man. I love that show.
What's your number 8?
Number 8. Okay, here we go. What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I fucking love this show. And like, I love this show. And I want to put it higher, but like, it's fucking tough, dude. But I will say this about What We Do in the Shadows. It's the funniest show on TV. It's the fucking funniest show on TV.
I agree.
Like, I have other shows on here that have some funny stuff to it, like, but this is a comedy. It's just straight up comedy. And it's the funniest thing. I think everything they try to say is a joke.
Yeah.
Or like they're setting up a joke or they're landing the punchline. And dude, they're just doing it at a different level over there.
And it's all set within like a story. Like a story within the episode. Yeah. And the episodes are all an arc for the season for each one. And it's fucking bonkers. And it just keeps landing.
Yeah. And it's fucking bonkers. They're vampires in Staten Island. That's the premise of the show. And they're like, they got their friend across their neighbor, Shawnee, their friend.
I'm so glad they made him a regular.
Yeah, man, that's so funny.
Laz, hey, you want to buy some pillows?
They go to the casino. Oh my god, it's just like so funny. The nightclub. Oh man, it was just every episode, man.
Dude,
calling baby calling,
and every now and then they get cameos. They just kill. You're like, what?
Yeah, and they have the one episode a year with what's his name? He just had a stand-up special.
Oh, Nick Kroll.
Nick Kroll, yeah.
His episode when he shows up was like magical in its own way. The whole time, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the revealer is like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's just the funniest thing on TV for me. And I wish I could have it higher. I just like, they just do it every year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just I'm just used to it being the funniest thing or what, but yeah, I got it number 8.
All right. I'm going to go my number 8. My number 8 is Peacemaker.
Oh, bang, bang.
Coolest intro. Yeah, I think we're going to be really close on some of these. But there's not much more to say than we already said. The show was like, it came from the Suicide Squad film, which was like 10 times better than it should have been. That film was a highlight from like last year. Yeah. And it rolled into this, and I'm like, what is this? I'll give it a shot. And I'm like, this show's awesome. I couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't believe the arc, and like, this show was just James Gunn. That was his back-to-back, like, who's in charge of DC now, motherfuckers? He took like, not even B-level, but C-level characters.
Yeah.
And made them interesting, and now he's in charge of the DCU at Warner Brothers, which is going to be amazing. So I don't know what to say, man. I'm so I look forward to the show. I'll watch it again, and I look forward to what he's going to be doing. All the future DC films. All right, what's your number 7?
All right, number 7. It just finished. White Lotus season 2.
Okay. Yes, we went into this. Man, we recorded our White Lotus episode like 2 weeks ago, and it's just sitting on my hard drive because it was buried in a closet for like 2 weeks during the move, and I have not edited it yet. And I hope to have it out before this one, but I don't know.
So should we not talk about it or what?
We'll talk about it.
You're definitely going to air the other one first, huh?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's going to be easy.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
All right. So season 2.
But spoilers just in case.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to give anything away. But like what I wrote down on my notes as far as some of the highlights was like great location, great casting, acting, and the story I think was a lot more digestible than the first season, I think. Because, I don't know, wealth is, weird sometimes. But they were also wealthy, but a lot of the connections that people had was about sex and, and the physical aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I just love the show, man. Some of these, and like, there's like, I feel like there's a lot of Easter eggs in this. And that guy, Mike White, just wrote the shit out of this season and directed the shit out of it too.
Dude,
there's some great like B-roll stuff in this show. You're like, damn, finding the space to put what he put in there was great. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of that. And again, another great intro song with the paintings and the mural or whatever it was. Dude, amazing.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Was it like
oh yeah, there you go. And then the drums kicking. Yeah.
I gotta work on that.
And then somebody's giving head to somebody, and then there's
like what?
And then a goose on a girl. Bitch, by the way, I think that's the prostitute that's when the prostitute and
the kid,
the Valentina have sex.
Spoiler alert. Okay.
That's what the little bird is.
Yeah.
But anyways, I love this show, man. Yeah. Season 2.
We talked a lot. Me and Christina talked about it a lot. I mean, it's well earned. And considering like how much better it was in the first season, I enjoyed the first season, but this season, like I was thought about stuff more. Yeah. It sat with me way more.
Yeah, for sure. Season 2. White Lotus, numero 7.
Yeah, the 3
What's
on the
your
way.
numero 7, my friend?
7. What we do in the shadows.
Woo!
It's just, I think it's the only straight comedy on my list.
Yeah, me too.
It's just, like, they were just, like, everything was a home run this season. Like, this is the most, like, home run season so far. Like, it's crazy. Like, it just, like, they're just dialed in and they just go. And as ridiculous as it was, like that one episode we were talking about with Nick Kroll, we were just like, what the hell is this? Like, you thought they were going to do a miss, and then they came back and, like, knocked it out. You're like, what the fuck?
It was so hilarious.
Man. So, yeah, I mean, we already talked about it. I don't know what else to say. We're doing Shadow season 4. Yeah. And it's my number 7. And next season, then they greenlit 2 more seasons already. So I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hilarity.
Yeah, we're not the only ones that think this is genius.
No.
These people at the studio are like, yeah, let's give them like 2 more.
Yeah.
Fuck it. They're killing it right now.
It's probably not that expensive. They build the sets, the costumes are all there. Just let them fucking do their thing.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 6?
Number 6, you ready?
Yeah.
Barry. I got Barry at number 6.
All right.
This is the one where I think you might have it higher. But yeah, Barry season 3, right? Or
yes.
4?
Yeah, 3.
3. Man, I don't know. This is probably like if you want to give a I don't know, like a class in writing and directing or something.
Yeah.
I think this is the one. Like, because technically, like if you're like, oh, it's about this guy that does this and that, it's like whatever. But then you watch it, and you're like, holy shit, this is not what you described.
No,
it's more. It's more. You know what I'm saying?
And it's 100% unexpected. It's more and unexpected. Like the choices they make, you're just like you don't see so many things coming that happen. Yeah. You're just like, what the shit?
Yeah, and technically, like
the
way they do it, the show, it's right on. You know, and we're in this part of the list where all these shows are great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All these shows are like amazing. So it's kind of hard not to like. What am I going to say about Barry season 3, man? It's amazing. All these shows deserve an Emmy. All these shows deserve awards.
Yeah. It's not enough awards to go around, unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Barry season 3, man. Right. Number 6.
Yeah.
Seems low. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man. I told you anything on the top 10 is going to be top tier. So I think we're good. My number 6, The Boys season 3.
Yeah.
I think I have stuff higher than yours, but that's good. There's not much I could already say that we didn't have already said was my expectations were not that high, and they just came out swinging, and they had a goal for the season, and they hit it. Like they hit it so hard and more, and they just dialed it up, and they're on another level with this season, and I really hope they continue with the next couple seasons.
Yeah,
because it's just top tier. Like. It's not for everybody. Super dark. Insanely violent. The ideas are not happy ideas.
No.
Like I said, a lot of fucking racism and white supremacy going around, and they're trying to squash it. But man, this is a lot of fascism. But fantastic show. Like they're putting it front and center and not holding back. Like in fascism in modern society, man. I don't know what to say. This show is crazy.
It's relevant. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like we're like, oh, this is a crazy show. But it's relevant. You know, there's a bunch of crazy shit going on in the real world out there. You know what I'm saying? So attaching a little bit of humanity or
I didn't see
a little bit of humor to it is, better.
Crazy. Yeah. All right. What's your number 5?
Number 5. Stranger Things.
Okay.
Stranger Things, number 5.
Yeah.
I loved it. I got 2 nitpicks. You know what I'm saying? But like the highs were so high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still listening to Kate Bush. You know what I'm saying? Still got my Kate Bush stock. Still listening to that. But my 2 little nitpicks in the beginning of the season, I think like the high school stuff was a little bit like
a little forced and over the top.
Yeah. And then my other nitpick was like how long it took for them to save Hopper. I'm like, God damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those were 2 nitpicks. Other than that, man, the action, the way, man, the character development, everybody's storyline, the brothers having the conversation when they get home.
Yeah.
Eddie, all of it, man. The way they shot it, like in some of those sequences, from going from the under to reality, man, there was amazing shots, and it was for being a genre show. I mean, like, dude, it's top tier.
We'll get into some more too.
So that's my numero 5.
Awesome. My numero 5, my numero 5, White Lotus.
White Lotus.
I think because we talked, me and Christina talked about it a ton, and me and you talked about it a ton. Clearly, these guys are doing something right. If you're gonna like spend all your time, like not all your time, but a good amount of your time discussing the show after you watch the show, that's when you know they did something right. It made you feel and think about shit, and like it was. There's not much more to say other than it was fantastic. The casting and the writing and everything was just fantastic. The chemistry of like the characters and the complexity of like and the family and what everyone's doing. I don't know. And just everything. I don't know what to say. And then like the final scene on the boat, you're like, God damn. and how they do leave some things up to mystery. They don't present to you everything. Like when the two go to the island, you're not really sure. And then like when Aubrey's Plaza character disappears and you're not really sure. And, but you see where they end up afterwards and you have to fill in some of the blanks. And that show was top tier quality filmmaking. That's all. I mean, that shit was awesome. That shit was a show, but I'm gonna call it filmmaking because it was so well done.
Yeah.
All right, man. What's your number 4?
Number 4. I got Severance from Apple Plus. Written and directed by Ben Stiller and starring, amongst many, Adam Scott. We got some Turturro in there, some Christopher Walken in there. We got some Patricia Arquette in there. Man, I love this show, dude. And I'm not sure. I don't think you watched it, have you?
Don't have Apple yet. I'm actually thinking about not doing Hulu for a couple of months and just getting Apple. Like,
getting some Apple? Yeah, get some Apple.
Like tonight. Because there's a bunch of stuff on Apple I want to catch up on. Yeah. And we're trying to block out the next few days and just kind of like sit and chill because we're still trying to decompress from our move.
Yeah.
And Apple might be the one. And that shows on a lot of people's top 10 of the year. And I need to get on that.
Yeah. It's Severance. Dude, if you like conspiracy theories, or if you like a good twist and turn kind of thing, man, this is it, dude. It's got a little bit of sci-fi, some mystery, on like who's the boss, who's that person, what's going on. There's a lot of questions in the show, and they do it so well. And you're like, and you get invested in these people really quick, and you have like empathy in them because you're like they're living 2 separate lives that they don't even know, and you're like, they don't know it from each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like me clocking into work and I don't know what his work life is like. And I'm over here, with kids, and he doesn't know he has kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just 2 separate lives in one. And there's a lot going on, bro. And I didn't do a good job to explain that, but that's what's going on.
No, I saw the trailer. I mean, it's going to be out there. And I'm super, that one.
It's super ambitious, and I think they're working it out.
Yeah.
And they left such a big cliffhanger, too. You're like, fuck! So you're like waiting for it to come back. But everybody did a great job. And I know I don't think they won stuff, but they got a lot of nominations, and good for them. I hope it's around for a while so they can.
A lot of people are talking about it, so clearly they're doing something right.
Yeah, so that's my number 4.
Yeah. My number 4, as was already been mentioned, is Barry. It's like I'm taking your list and ranking everything higher.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's maybe a couple things on here that I watched that you haven't watched.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure. I guarantee I'd probably love Severance. But Barry, season 3, next level. I don't know what else to say. But we have already said about it. It's just ridiculous. Bill Hader. He's gonna direct the entire 4th season. That dude's gonna as I think it was the Ringer podcast. They were talking about he's gonna win an Academy Award for directing one day because he just sees things differently and tells a different story.
Yeah.
Or a story in his own way, which is like fresh and like
this is the best season of Barry for me.
So good.
So far.
The shot of what's her name at the airport, and she's talking to him. Yeah, I'll see you tonight. I love you. And then she turns and gets on a fucking plane. You're like, you fucker.
Yeah. And then how invested are we in Hank? Poor Hank.
Dude. Yeah.
Like his love story and everything,
Dude, yeah.
And, man, such a good show.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, that's Barry number 4. All right, dude. We're getting into the nitty-gritty. All right, number 3. So I'll say these number 3s were the ones that I think made me feel the most for different reasons. And that's kind of where I had to these, I think, separated out from the pack for me. Like these, I could watch them several times over, I think. It won't get too old. But go ahead. All right, let's hear number 3.
I'll back you up on that as far as the number 1. My number 1 is the one that I connected to the most.
Yeah.
But that's how I ended up, because I can't really shit on anything on this, So it's like I'm just gonna go with the more that made me made my heart feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my number 3 is Reservation Dogs on FX and Hulu. I just fucking love the show, man.
Yeah, and the second season was great.
Yeah, perfect ending to it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if they would have ended the show there, I would have been okay with it. But they're gonna have a season 3, and if you guys haven't seen it yet, man, it's a pretty basic coming of age story of these kids that are dealing with a friend's death, and they don't know, they're processing in their own ways, and they have their own little side stories. Yeah, and season 2 was great, man. I loved it, and I love the way it ended, and I love like each one had their own little episode arc, and it was well done, man. No complaints. So Reservation.
I'm only halfway done watching the first season. It's pretty damn fantastic. Like, it's unexpected, but each show it has a lot of heart, and it's like, what? It's funny and heartwarming and kind of heartbreaking. And, it's got it all. And that's on Hulu. So that was one of the ones worth checking out.
Yeah. So that's my number 3.
All right, my number 3, which I know you're going to be ranking it higher. This is one of the other ones, is The Bear. I thought, I never even heard of the show, and then I saw a trailer. I'm like, this is interesting, just because it takes place like in a kitchen restaurant. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Like, I kind of have some little bit of familiarity, and the cast and like this show, like, and it builds towards a thing, and they set this thing up for the entire season, and it kind of like has that reveal towards the end, and you're not even expecting it, and like they're not even trying to pretend like there's something, and it's just, you see all these characters going from like these low points to try to like build and become something, and a lot of them think they're like pieces of shit, and then they start growing into like their own, and they start finding their own passions. They start getting encouraged by other people around them. They start lifting each other up, and they all hate each other in the beginning for the most part. It's really like, I think it's relatable, I think, to a lot of folks, and it gets intense. And there's some of these episodes where like, wow, and it's unexpected, and the performances and the casting, everything in the show is like fucking pretty fantastic. We can get into it a little bit more, but The Bear is my number 3.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. All right, number 2?
Okay, number 2, Andor.
All right.
Season 1.
Yeah.
No notes. Good job, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
Take your bow. My life is fulfilled. You guys did a great job, and I appreciate it. Made this guy happy, and I can't wait for season 2. Get your shit together.
Oh man.
No notes.
All right. We'll jump onto that in a second.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. So when we'll share when we talk when you go. All right, number 2 for you, sir.
Number 2 is Stranger Things season 4. I think it ranked higher because it made me feel more like exhilaration and happiness and sadness, and the structure of the show and the design of the show and the reveals of the show and the callbacks of the show, and how it built so much more, and how like the ending, they didn't do the typical wrap up ending where there's like, and everyone's safe and sound, and then there's like a second of like, you see a creature in the shadow, and like, nope, they're just like, everything's fucked, you're fucked, here we go, get ready to put on your battle shoes because we're going to battle. Like, season 5 episode 1, it's on, and like, it's just, the show was insane. Like, this show was insane this season. Like, and the amount of time, like some of the episodes were like 90 minutes, and it never really dragged too much. Here and there, there's definitely some nitpicks, but overall, like the Kate Bush scene, like, dude, I think I held my breath for like 90 seconds during that scene when she was running. I was like, oh my god, like that might have been one of the most exhilarating scenes or sequences of television this whole year for me. Like, I was like, I had to like, I think I had to pause it and walk around and process after that scene happened. I was like, okay, I'm okay. Give me a paper bag. I got to bring it to a paper bag.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, it was tough.
So good.
So good, man.
I don't know what else to say. All right. So we're getting into your number 1 right now, correct?
Yeah, number 1.
Fire away.
All right. Number 1, it was your number 3, The Bear. I love The Bear.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
I just connected with it the most, I think, you know what I'm saying? It's like being in the kitchen, a big part of my life, I guess. It kind of resonated a lot with how, depending who's in charge, is how the kitchen goes, and how you can take elements of, like, I don't know how it is with all work, wherever you work, but you can take things of how you work professionally and adapt them to your regular life. And I don't know, man. I just connected with that. I connected with yeah, if you do this here, you can put it here. It's kind of like the Karate Kid version of it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, wax on, wax off. You know, like, oh, but you're actually doing this. You're blocking this. You know. So, anyways, I just loved it, and I love that everybody had their own journey to get to where they got to at the end, and
their journeys you took place at their stations, and like you're just kind of seeing what's happening, and it's not like an over the top thing, you know what I mean?
And they don't beat you over the head, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden it just happens.
Yeah.
Because you're busy working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the old mean lady, you know, that she was really mean in the beginning, at the end, she's like, oh, I just wanted to help, you know, or like this and that, you know. And she's like, she probably had a lot of stuff hurt her. So she had a lot of big shields up, and
tons.
And you know, so it just grew. The show grew, and then it grew so fast. And I appreciated everything about it. So
I think that's the one show I'm really looking forward to watching again. We might even watch it in this couple of days. Like, it's so good. Like, it's a damn near perfect show. We're like, what?
Yeah.
And season 2 on the way.
I know. I'm so excited,
dude. That show is awesome.
Yeah, love that show.
All right,
ready? I think you're ready.
Yeah,
you look like you're.
It's this one.
So was tough. I'm looking down. I'm like, somebody's excited.
this was tough, and I think the thing that made this show my number one was the unexpectedness of it, and just how like they pulled the rug out from underneath you when it comes to like oppression and the idea of like how you fit into things, and like just trying to close your eyes to the terribleness around you, and like, are you part of the problem or part of the solution, kind of thing. And so I'm talking about is Andor, like. And I'm eating shit on this one because I hated Rogue One. And the idea of taking anything from that and making it a film or a show, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? This is going to be some like cash grab Disney bullshit. And it turns out Obi-Wan was the cash grab Disney bullshit because it fucking sucked. And then it turns out Willow was the cash grab fucking because it was even unwatchably bad. But then Andor came out, and like that show deserves like awards for writing, possibly acting, the cinematography. It's gorgeous. Like everything about the show is like 10 times better than it had any business being in the world of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like that was a hell of a feat. And fuck, the dialogue, like the scenes, and you're feeling like, dude, there's the one like the prison break followed by homie's speech.
Yeah, like which speech? Which speech?
Yeah, there's 2 speeches that just blow your mind in one episode. I'm like, what? That's not even fair. That ain't even fair. That ain't fair.
Not fair, dude. And it's like, you know how sometimes there are these traps where I'm like, oh, you have this great talent, let's use it and give them a big monologue, and that kind of becomes exhausting towards the consumer, you know, like us. But man, it just kept you like, you just like we're chewing it up all day. Like, yeah, man, give me that. And then even when at the end, where well, not the very end, but with the mom gives a speech, and she's like talking about there's a darkness out there now. It lives with us. It's not visiting anymore. Mm-hmm. I was like, damn, dude,
like, that was here to stay. And like,
it's here to stay.
And we can't just keep sitting doing nothing about it.
Man, that was fucking awesome, dude. Like, yeah, we all need to stand together and revolt against that shit, showing that we're not some pushovers. But man, I agree with you, man. Like I said, no notes. I love this show, dude. I was like, I'm happy with it. The acting, Diego Luna, man, the guy, great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was great. The bad guys were all perfectly bad, you know, and everybody was great. The costume design, I'm glad it wasn't another Tatooine, you know. I'm glad that it's its own individual planet. And
I love that the stormtroopers were actually kind of scary. And like they finally were the first time were like killing people and torturing people. Like they earned like a stormtrooper, you know, title. Like fuck. Like it was next level.
Yeah, because they were kind of scared of the rent-a-cops. So there was levels, right? They were fucked up, the rent-a-cops. But here come the stormtroopers, and like they're shooting. Yeah, and they were like
indiscriminately.
Yeah, they didn't care, man. They were just blasting away. So, yeah, shout out, man. Shout out to, and then the whole there were so many like different storylines and plots or whatever, and like, and then the whole Mom Rothwa issue with the daughter and then what she's willing to sacrifice.
Dude, they laid out the stakes, and the stakes were high and real, and like, and it was so subtle. They weren't like, "Not my daughter." It was more like, you know what I mean? Everything was like in whispers.
It was in the performance, right? Like you look at the face, and you're like, "Ooh, she's going through it. Ooh, shit." Yeah, like what you're looking at. It's not happy times. Not happy times. So, but they did a great job.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. All right, man. Those are we didn't match any, but I mean we pretty much had the same energy almost throughout.
Yeah. Oh man, great year of TV, man.
Is this one of maybe because we're paying more attention this year, but this might be like the best year of TV since I don't even know, like Breaking Bad era. You know what I mean? Like what? It's crazy. It's
like the whole year long. It wasn't like no. Because remember, like when we started the show, we're like, oh, there's a lot of stuff to talk about every week, and then whenever we would get a document going for an episode, we're like, well, what are we going to talk about? It basically filled out itself because there was so much stuff every week. And even like the bad stuff, we had to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Willow and this and that, there's all this stuff that we need to, talk about too. Yeah. So it just filled out itself. And I don't know if this is the peak, or if this is like
it could have been like all the pandemic, post-pandemic, everything kind of building up and it all kind of coming out at once, and it's going to be a slower trickle. Yeah, like Andor's not coming out for another year, and I think Lord of the Rings aren't coming out for another year, and I think Barry's not going to happen for a little while. So I mean, all these shows might not drop for like another 8 to 12 months. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully some other shows are.
Well, right now, January 16th, The Last of Us.
Dude,
so that's right there, and then like in springtime, that's when Succession comes back.
Yeah,
I know you're like, but dude, that's HBO's most popular show.
I know people love it, and that's cool. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I think you should revisit.
We'll see. Well, if things ever get really, really slow, I'd rather watch The Bear. What shout-outs do you have for the shows this year? I've got a couple.
Yeah, for shout-outs, I got Hacks, man. I was like one of the hard cuts I had to do.
Yeah.
Because of the other shows, like Severance and Reservation Dogs, and I had to do Hacks, season 2, and then another shout-out that I wanted to put on there really badly, but I couldn't. This was above Hacks. I had House of the Dragon.
Okay.
And man, the show, for what it was fucking entertaining.
Okay.
And
I was entertained the first 4 episodes, so I stopped watching. But
and yeah, dude, it was just like you're like, holy shit, it's about to be fucking on. Like it's about to be like, I want to shake the table. It's gonna be fucking on. Like that's how they fucking left it. And so I had those 2 as shout outs. I really didn't plan on putting the Lord of the Rings on it. Like the way it looked amazing, but that was like, for me, it felt like an empty vessel a little bit. So, but everything else was good about it. But I didn't have I know all these shows are like, they're like parts of like how they made me feel.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings didn't make me feel shit. Really?
Yeah, it wasn't like a lot of emotional connection. I was just like visually stunning, and the characters going through beating the shit out of each other, and what the reveals and the guesses, and like, what's this? What's that? Who's that? Oh, that's this. Like, it was really cool. Like seeing a lot. I was super digging it.
Yeah. So I think I got those. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot because there was a lot of cool stuff. What do you got for shout outs?
I got a bunch. All right. On HBO, We Own the City. Especially
for
Jenkins, bro. For Jenkins.
Yeah. Hey, Super Cop.
That show was pretty damn good. Also on HBO, Winning Time. I was not at all expecting it to be that awesome, and that shows I am so looking forward to the second season. I love the style of Winning Time on HBO. Not for the kids. Outer Range was really interesting.
Oh yeah, season 2 is coming up.
It's it kind of fumbled in parts, but overall, it's.
But you want to know what happens, right?
Yeah. So that was great. The Old Man on FX was really good.
Yeah.
It also, I think, fumbled in the last episode, but
first 3 episodes were amazing.
But they had to shut down for COVID, and they had to refilm the last episode, so it changed the dynamic of everything. But it still worked because Jeff Bridges was, I think, not in the best health for the last episode, but it still totally worked.
Yeah.
Oh man. Only Murders in the Building, season 2. Prey brought us to Hulu. Only Murders kept us there. That was, both seasons are fantastic. Marvelous Miss Maisel, very enjoyable. It's definitely falling off, and you can tell like the next season's the last season because they're going to wrap it up, and it didn't quite hit the highs of the first couple seasons. That was kind of a bummer, but still enjoyable. Julia, this is a show I wasn't even on my radar for HBO. The Julia Child show, the biography. Really enjoyable, very lighthearted, fun, big-hearted show. You just like really like the characters. So it was really cool. And I think that's all of my shout outs, man. Oh, and a big shout out to a show that was way better than it should have had any business being, and that's Moon Knight. I was really...
Shut up! Are you joking?
Up. No, fuck you.
Is this a joke? Are you doing a bit right now?
Oh, man, you suck. Oscar Isaac's performance was awesome. That show was fucking... That show was great.
You're not doing a bit. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Yeah, shout out Moon Knight.
Yeah, go eat shit. Anyways. So those were my shout outs.
Fucking show sucked.
No, it did not.
Yes, it did.
Oh my God. Anyways, wrong guy. Go fly your fucking jet.
It was worse than Willow. Asshole. It was worse than Willow.
We turned Willow off after like maybe 20 minutes. We couldn't handle it. Moon Knight, we were like, this is cool.
Wow. You're over there buying some Chris Isaac, or what's his name? Isaac's stock.
He was great. He was great in Dune. We started watching Dune recently. Man, he's so good. Shut up.
Wow. Wowie.
Good for you.
You amaze me. You're an amazing star.
We're doing so well. We're doing so well.
Well, I don't know if you're doing playing a prank on me.
Shit the bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
We almost had the same taste till then. Then you fucking just lost it, bro.
Go back to your fucking.
You went back to drinking your fucking natural ice and fucking.
What are you, Below Decks? Go. You go watch your Below Decks, and I'll go watch my Moon Knight. You shut the fuck up.
Oh my goodness. Below Deck is on fire.
I'm sure it is. Fucking bullshit. Docu-reality series, my ass.
Wow.
Anyways, still love you, but holy shit.
All right, man.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. You want to do a double feature for the road?
No, we are way over time here.
No? Okay. All right, guys. Well, that was our recap. Fun times. Some great shows and movies. And yeah, thanks for listening. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, please let us know. Any last bit you want to talk about?
Looking forward to next year, and I really hope the next seasons for some of the shows that we talked about come out this year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I know. All right, man. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. By the time this airs, it's going to be post-New Year, so I hope everyone's enjoying your new diets.
All right. Time to get on a diet. Fat boy on a diet. That's what I need. All right, everybody. This has been Put It on the List. 2 nerds, 1 pod. Vámonos. Let's go.